Good afternoon. My name is Brian Rosipajla. Last is spelled Rosipajla. I'm the Deputy Chief for the Lafayette Police Department.
And I'm Randy Barber. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for the Boulder Valley School District, and that's spelled Randybarber.
At approximately 10:24 hours this morning, Lafayette officers were dispatched to Centaurus High School at 10300 West South Boulder Road on a report of a possible shots fired. Our officers immediately went to the school and entered into the school to begin looking for any signs of shots being fired. Officers began their search along with other agencies throughout the Boulder County area. Right now it is appearing to be a false alarm. They have done a complete sweep of the school and did not see anything that indicated shots being fired inside. They are doing a secondary search currently, and all of the students are currently on a lockout and will remain in the classrooms until the secondary search is completed. After that, they will be going back into school as they were.
I'll go ahead and add on to that from the school district. Yeah, of course. So when the school district learned about the lockdown at Centaurus High School, we immediately took action to notify our parents in regards to the situation. Alerts went out via email, phone, and text messaging, as well as on social media, etc. Our thoughts are obviously with the students and the staff inside the building. Everything went according to plan in terms of the fact that it sounds like a staff member activated the lockdown. They took cover. As you know, that means locks, lights out of sight. Additionally, we have two schools in the area that also, as a precautionary measure, went into secure. That's what is formally known as lockout. That's when the doors of the school are locked. Children are brought inside from outside activities, but for the most part at those schools, which were Ryan Elementary and Angevine Middle School, for the most part at those schools things went on as normal. But again, at Centaurus, during a situation like this, our students are trained to close the doors, lock them, stay inside their classroom area, turn off the lights, stay in a quiet area away from viewpoint from the hallways, and from all accounts it sounds like that went very well. And again, we're just waiting for the police all clear at this point.
How many students are in session right now? Can you talk a little about,
yeah,
you're on a hybrid schedule?
That's right. Thank you for asking that. I don't have exact numbers. I can get that for you all. But what we know right now is that Centaurus High School is in a hybrid model as part of the whole response to the pandemic. We have about half of our kids that are in person, and that's about 70% of our entire student population that are in person. So again, not to get too confusing here, but 70% of our kids are in person. Half of them go to school 2 days a week, and so right now, only a portion of the school are there. But I will mention that for those students, again, we understand that this is a traumatic situation, even if it turns out to be a non-event, even if it turns out to be a false alarm, it's still a traumatic situation for our students and our staff. And so we actually have brought in our district trauma team to be able to support them in terms of counseling and someone to talk to after the release from the classrooms today.
Is there any questions?
Can you guys say what triggered this potential false alarm? What was the call that made someone think that this was going on?
At this point, we're still looking into that. The teacher heard what she thought was gunshots, but we are still not finding evidence of that. It was later stated that the gunshots were possibly coming from outside, and we had people outside that did not hear anything from there either. So we only really have one witness right now stating they thought they heard gunshots.
We had heard something potentially about a prank of some sort. Do you guys know anything of that?
We haven't heard anything with that. There is West South Boulder Road, which is right next to the school. It could have been backfiring. It could have been the garbage cans are also directly next to that area of the school. So we're still looking into anything at this point, and we'll keep investigating on what this possibly was.
Obviously, as mentioned, this was traumatic for students and staff, and that's being addressed, but a relief as well that nothing more awful has happened. What was the progression of the morning like for you when the call first came in about possible shots fired at a school to this moment now where you're in the second suite, nobody has been injured thus far?
Well, as you stated, we're always excited when it is a false alarm because nobody was hurt and there's no issues with that. We all responded to the scene. We had agencies from all over Boulder County respond with us, and we just began setting up everything within the school and outside. But we are thrilled that everything is okay and everybody's safe and nobody was hurt.
Yeah, I'll just add as well that, this is the type of thing that we hope for. It's traumatic, but we hope that these things end with a false alarm, with a message of that it's all clear. But we have to train and we have to prepare throughout the school year for this, and that's exactly why our schools do that on a normal basis. We do want to thank our law enforcement partners for their quick reaction and for their partnership in keeping our schools safe.
Can you talk a little about the protocol? Like a teacher, they just issue a code, and then the school goes. You're saying no lights, shut down.
Yeah. So we take this very seriously. The potential of an active shooter on a campus is a very serious concern for us always, and so all of our teachers know that they are to let their administration know if they hear something, if they see something that's out of the way. Same thing's true of students and parents as well. When they have a credible report, school takes action immediately, and then we ask the questions later. We'd rather have, we know that a lot of parents are waiting for information right now and that kind of thing, but we would rather have them safe and secure and then have the law enforcement friends, really be able to make sure that that's the case. But again, this is exactly what they train for on a normal basis.
At this point, have parents been notified that this is believed to be a false alarm?
We're in the process of getting out communication right now that will let them know what we know at this point, which is that they've done their first sweep and that we're going through the second now. But an all clear has not been issued yet. So yeah.
And Randy, can you give us a quick idea as to what happens next? Do students, after this second sweep is done, do they get sent home? Are they staying here? Will they be given resources in case they were spooked by this?
Yeah, so we have a group of counselors that are here on site, and so once they've given the clear to leave their rooms, I think every student, every staff member will sort of assess the situation. I don't know for sure if they'll just dismiss for the day or if they'll go back to class, but I think each and every staff member and student will have that opportunity to assess if they're able to continue on depending on their situation and how they felt about things. Obviously, again, we'll have those counselors on standby if somebody needs to talk. We have a whole system where they can get pulled in and talk in a group or talk one-on-one with somebody if they need that.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you very much.
So how many police responded? Can you talk about how many officers responded to a situation like this?
I can only estimate on the amount that responded. I saw approximately 40 patrol cars when I was over there last, so there is a large response from the entire area. That's the great thing about all law enforcement. We all go to help each other anytime there's any crisis or anytime there is need. So every agency from the Boulder County area responded, along with outside agencies such as Colorado State Patrol and FBI.
Do you guys have a resource officer on campus?
No. My understanding is that we don't have a school resource officer here at Centaurus any longer. But again, we have a close association with our police department, and they responded very, very quickly, as we would expect.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. We will be around for a little bit longer until we get the all clear if you all want to stay around. Thank you.